my dogs, Sebastian, Ty, Gus, and Bailey. I'm sure we all appreciate a good watchdog, but what do you do if your dogs are barking excessively? Excessive barking could be defined as more than 1 or 2 barks after a stimulation and is often triggered by doorbells and knocking at the door. If you find excessive barking annoying or is it causing problems with your neighbors or visitors to your house, don't despair. You can work on this with your dog and get the barking down to a reasonable level. Before we show you a technique to do this, it is important to set realistic goals for your dogs. This can take several sessions and barking may not be completely correct, but be consistent and you will see results.
Before beginning any behavior modification program, it's important to make sure that your pet doesn't have any underlying medical conditions that might be contributing to the behavior. Start with a healthy pet. Be sure to check in with your veterinarian before starting behavior training. In a multiple dog household, it's key to work with each dog separately. So today we're going to focus on Gus. We're going to use desensitization with a counter-conditioning technique to get the barking under control. We're going to knock on the door, starting with a light knock at first, and immediately reward Gus with a treat if he doesn't bark. As the training session continues, Gus will get less and less excited by the knocking. This is called desensitization, starting with a gentle stimulus and working up to a greater stimulus, creating a gradient. Counter-conditioning using treats will reteach Gus what knocking means, and he will begin to associate knocking with a positive experience. With both techniques together, knocking on the door will be less stimulating and more positive for Gus. Amy, I'm Dr. Quintana. It's nice to meet you. Wow, you have a full house here.
We definitely do.
Bet you're ready to start some behavior modification training.
We are.
Before starting your process of desensitization and counter-conditioning, it is important to identify the triggers that cause your dog to bark. It could be that the doorbell causes more barking than a knock at the door. Plan your steps ahead of time and be prepared. It may work best if you start with knocking on a table, or it may be best if you play a quiet version of a doorbell knocking from your computer. The main key is to gradually increase the intensity over time. The slower you go, the faster you will get there. If you go too fast in increasing the intensity or volume of the knocking, for example, you may notice that your dog barks even more. Find your dog's favorite treat and only give it to him during these sessions. This helps assure that he really looks forward to these sessions. If your dog is more toy motivated, find his favorite toy to play with while you work through the sessions. And finally, understand that each of these sessions is, at the most, a few minutes long. However, repeat them as frequently as you can so you can see the improvement more quickly.
It's good. This concludes our behavior modification session on desensitization and counter-conditioning in excessively barking dogs. With patience and consistency, you too can achieve Amy's results with Gus and Ty.